I hope you all are having a blessed one. All right. We live in a very treacherous world. And of course, we're going to get into the shooting that happened today out in San Diego. So much hate in the world, and a world full of hate. What we need is structure, right? We need structure. We need planning. We need the ability to grow and navigate, through everything. You know what I'm saying? It's really sad and it's really unfortunate. I'm going to talk about that case, all right, that whole situation here. But what I want to spend a few moments on, just a few moments, is talking about, and I'd be amiss if I didn't talk about the trade of the day, okay? And essentially, what you're looking at here, of course, is trader view, of course, and USD JPY on the 15. Okay, so the trade of the day actually started yesterday. I opened a position 9:33 a.m. I actually opened two positions, one at 9:33, one at 9:32. Okay, and I'll show you guys why briefly. Okay, so essentially, this is a bit of a, not like a violation of my usual practice, but it was a bit of it was a wobbler, I guess you can call it. But I did it for a reason, and I'll explain here shortly. So typically, I like to, if I'm going to go long or short, okay, the first step, okay, in determining what this trade will look like is identifying the trend. And we do that using smaller time frames and align them. We look for basically coordination between them and larger time frames. And so this bounce off of pivot, right? This doji, not quite a high close, but still a doji nonetheless, in the midst of a brief sell-off, right? Hitting nearly this white line, which is the 200 EMA, and continuing on straight. I knew, and I actually missed this candlestick, but I knew that this would be a good entry point, right? I could use this, obviously, multiple significant levels of support as a stop. So there's a lot going on here that works to the advantage of those who want to go long. Now, all of this, keep in mind that the news for this week is actually pointing to USD JPY being bullish, okay? And I knew that coming into this trade as well, too. So 9:33 a.m., which is, of course, here, I went ahead and went long, and I actually held this position overnight, which is not something I like to do, but I felt very confident about the position. Again, we're talking about setting a stop loss here slightly below pivot, which also in this case correlates as well to the 200 EMA. Okay, with a target price, the initial target of R1, or the next level of resistance, and then of course as we go on to the next day, you can see essentially what happened here. And I love these setups because what you see here is a true liquidity sweep. Meaning you can see that price broke through R1, then eventually retraced back, right? It retraced back down near this liquidity level, but never broke, as you can see, never broke this significant level of support, and also never broke the 200, and just continued on throughout the day. I actually closed this position today, both positions, one at 750, another, which I'll show, I'll focus on the latter, at 10. Oh yeah, this morning, sorry. This morning at 7:50 a.m., which correlates to this particular candlestick. I always wonder when I close my winning positions, I always wonder, and I think every trader wonders, could I have wrote this for more profit? And we'll never know. That's not really the point. The point is when you get up, 2R, you get up 2.5R. It's time to go ahead and take your wins. Okay. And again, as I said, what I look for here is confirmation on the trend, right? With at least two of the three higher time frames. So you can see here, looking at the hour, right? We're well extended beyond the 200 EMA for USD JPY. And interestingly, this is an interesting one because we actually are also bullish on the day, as you can see here. Again, well above 200 and even above the 50 EMA. Okay, so with all that being said, this is a very good play, very unique setup. Okay, another thing that I thought was very interesting is that breakout actually pointed to this as a good setup as well too. Let me share that with you guys here. Let's see. Boom. All right. So as you guys can see here, right, you guys are viewing my dashboard, right? Breakout alerts. This is an incredibly powerful dashboard that I use to identify winning trades all the time. Okay. Now, what I can do here essentially for today is just use the breakout consolidation strategy. I don't know if you guys can see my filters that I have, like the select options here, but essentially I can filter by strategy, whether I want breakout continuation or mean reversion. We have two strategies at play currently. We're actually looking at adding a third strategy into this, which of course would be liquidity sweeps. I think that'd be a good complement to our existing strategies. And then we'll look at symbols. As we said, it was USD JPY. So as you guys can see, there was one signal today. And again, this is a complete automated system. The USD JPY was actually alerted on the 15-minute time frame breakout strategy. Of course, going long, entry price, the take profit price, stop loss, etc. As you all can see, we did hit our target price, which was determined and defined by breakout. And again, this opened today at 2 p.m. Okay, so a great setup here. And again, breakout, just an incredible tool here. Look for a coupon code for 30% off your first month in the description. And again, the beautiful thing about this application, this platform, is that we allow users to configure their alerts how they would like them to be. Okay, so if you want to get alerts on just Forex major pairs, if you're looking for something more specific to indices, metals, US 30, for example, or if you're a gold trader, we do have gold here as a commodity. Gold's been a bit choppy these last couple of weeks, I will admit, but we do have multiple strategies that fit multiple types of markets, right? So in some instances, breakout would be a good strategy, and others mean reversion. Okay, so it's a matter of the markets contracting and expanding and basically being able to capitalize on those wins accordingly. Okay, nonetheless, wanted to share my trade of the day with you all. We are living in a world today where human beings, 16, 17-year-olds, are being radicalized. Usually it's going to be online. And in this case, these two were radicalized to kill Muslims. And we know that usually in America, when we start talking about, who's gonna bear the brunt of hate crimes or of animosity and hate in general, usually it's going to be Black folks and Muslims, or in some instances, Black folks and Jews. Okay, but you're gonna say, "Oh, I don't think that's true." Look at the hate crime statistics. Okay, I actually posted it in my last video. Look at the hate crime statistics. You will see consistently that anti-Black hate crimes have consistently for decades been the top hate crime in all of America. But again, this is not about anti-Black hate crime. We're just setting the table to understand that we're living in a hateful society. We just saw the case of this guy, Chet the Builder, and he's running around here thinking that it is his Second Amendment or his First Amendment right to disrespect people and then not do anything in return to him, right? It is in his ignorance to think that him calling some random Black person that he doesn't know the N-word with the hard ER, he thinks that that's not a threat. You think you're going to just walk up on people and say that to people, and they're not going to construe that as a threat. This is the United States of America, okay? We weren't born yesterday, okay? We come from a rich history in this country, right? Some people don't care. I get it, right? Some people got more to lose than others. Trust me, I get that. But the bottom line is, you do not have the right, no matter who you are, to disrespect people and not think that the people that you're disrespecting are going to do something in return to you. And the fact that they do is not mitigated by this freedom of speech. Okay. Nonetheless, let's continue on with this situation.
Authorities are investigating a possible hate crime at a mosque. 3 people were killed after a shooting at the Islamic Center of San Diego. Police say the 2 teenage suspects were also found dead inside a car nearby.
Man, this is a nightmare. This is an absolute nightmare for parents, for children, for the community, for the police, for the mayor, all the way across the board, an absolute nightmare. And at the end of it, right, 3 are killed, right? So they apparently killed someone. And the suspects also obviously killed themselves. Let's continue.
CBS News national correspondent Jonathan Bigliotti joins us live from San Diego with more on this. Good morning, Jonathan. What more can you tell us about what happened?
And Errol, good morning to you. The San Diego police say they were actually searching for one of the suspects hours before the attack. This after the mother called police saying that he was missing and acting suicidal. Tragically, they did not find him until it was too late.
San Diego police received a call about an active shooting at the Islamic Center at 11:43 a.m. Monday.
I heard like a bunch of bad stuff like gunshots.
4 minutes later, the police chief said officers arrived on the scene where they found 3 deceased victims, proceeding to sweep the mosque and its school facilities, where aerial footage showed children running from the building. Imam Taha Hassan, who is the director of the center, posted this update.
The entire school is safe. All the kids, all the staff, and the teachers are safe out of the Islamic Center. We have few casualties.
As that was happening,
Man. So he's saying it's safe, but we got a few casualties. And brother, it ain't safe, man. Clearly. And look at the police response here by San Diego PD. I mean, man. Only if you guys could have gotten there sooner, right? Maybe prevented one of these deaths, but that's a hard one to even say. I'm just saying it would have been nice, right? If a life could have been spared, but it's so sad, man. And they don't give any details, at least as of yet, about who these 3 people, who these gunmen shot were. I presume they were probably at least one of them children. So to think that in 2026 in the United States of America, that you have 16 and 17-year-old kids who are being radicalized by hate to actually kill, right, innocent people is terrible. And guess what? Right? Guess what? There are some people out there who support, right, Chud the Builder under this extreme idea, right, of free speech, right? Some of those same people are also anti-Muslim. We have to understand that, right? Now, freedom of religion is also a constitutional right in the United States of America, right? So these Muslims, they're not hurting anyone. They're not harming anyone, right? They're just doing their thing. They're practicing their religion. They're creating their own culture. It's not something that I particularly am a part of or would necessarily want to be a part of, right? For obvious reasons. But it doesn't bother me. I don't have no problems with it. So why would these individuals feel the need to not only have a problem with it, but actually go so far as to arm oneself and kill these innocent people? It makes absolutely no sense. Notice that the mother said that the boy was suicidal and missing. Now, we don't know what happened to that boy. We don't know, what happened to him. Maybe he was having some type of episode. Maybe he was dealing with some type of mental illness. We really don't know what the deal was. But we do know the outcome, as we're seeing here now, is tragic.
more chaos.
We received calls of a vehicle a couple blocks away that was shooting at a landscaper. The landscaper is going to be okay, but we are still investigating that scene.
The suspects, a 17 and 18-year-old male, were both found dead near the scene from what police said were likely self-inflicted gunshot wounds. The police chief said earlier in the day, officers had begun searching the area for a potential threat after one suspect's mother reported him missing, concerned he was suicidal.
Several of her weapons were missing. Her vehicle was missing. She also said that her son was with a companion and that they were dressed in camo. That began to trigger a larger threat assessment picture.
Police added that there was evidence of hate speech, but would not elaborate. Among the victims,
now we need to know what that speech was, man. See, I don't like when they do that, when they say there's evidence, but they don't elaborate. Like, they don't reveal what that is. Like, we need to know. Now, it's pretty obvious that it was anti-Muslim, but what else was there, right? We don't know if he went to this school to target certain people that were Muslim and something else, right? We don't know. Okay, so society does need to know this, right? Because we need to be prepared and be aware of these types of things. Okay. The other thing I hear from this as well too that stands out is they said that the mother reached out. So the question is, why nobody asking this question? If he was African American, they might be asking, where was the father? Where was the father, right? So my question as well is the same. Is like, well, did this boy have his father in his life? What role did his dad play in his upbringing? Was there some other, maybe domestic situation going on? We'll never know, right? But what we do know is that somebody saw the signs, and that somebody in this case was the mother. So this goes to show y'all, if you guys know of, or you guys are seeing something strange with someone, don't think light of it, right? People in our day and age are crashing out, snapping and crashing. Okay, and this is the result. Let's continue.
According to social media posts and people linked with the Islamic Center, its security guard, Maite Gutierrez, who calls the guard brother.
Oh, so this is the man who was killed, right? So when they say 3 dead, it sounds like they saying him and the 2 people that him and the 2 suspects. Let me go back to that real quick.
Linked with the Islamic Center, its security guard. Maite Gutierrez, who calls the guard Brother Amin, says she knew him well when she worked at the center's school for years.
Because of his heroism and his courage, his bravery, and the love for his community and his faith, he saved a lot of lives.
Imam Hassan spoke to us in 2023 during a national spike in Islamophobia.
We receive daily.
Yeah, man, we can't let this guy's name and his image go unforgotten, man. As this young lady said, she gave him his props. You know what I'm saying? This man right here, this brother right here, saved countless children's lives. Probably was the first one to encounter the suspect and probably did his best to prevent them from being able to go in there and do what they wanted to do to these kids. Now, the details of that we may never know, but based on what this woman says, she's a testament. She's testifying that this man saved a lot of these children's lives. So shouts out to this man. You know what I'm saying? It's a terrible thing, man. You know, to see a man like this, a strong brother like this, you know, be taken out in this fashion. You know, but what an honorable way for a man to die, you know, in the protection of our most vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? The children in our communities, man. This is a very heroic situation, a very heroic, situation in the midst of all of the chaos. And the truth be told is, this is what it takes. You know, I'm telling y'all, you know, we live in a sick world. And in a sick world, it takes strong men to stand in the gap. You know what I'm saying? To at some points in time, be the actual physical protection for our loved ones, for, you know, those who are in vulnerable situations in our society, right? Because without him, right, we know it would have been many more children dead. So the question is that, you know, there are others in our communities today that are heroes, and without them, right, some might be at risk in X, Y, and Z type of way. Maybe not their lives being at risk, but maybe the livelihood of their lives being at risk. So all of us can learn something from this young man here and his heroism, you know, in the face of this madness, man. So, man, I'm gonna go ahead and retire, man, on this particular note, man. You know, shouts out again to this man. Unfortunate situation. The community of San Diego, such a beautiful place. You see the background. You know what I'm saying? Why would somebody in such a beautiful location, you know, wanna go about doing this and harming innocent children? You know what I mean? Just because of their religious belief. Like, you know, obviously this dude sounded like he wasn't in his right mind. We don't know, but man, prayers up for the San Diego community, man. Like, share, comment below. Tell me what y'all think. All right, till we chat again.